and I'm here with Marcel Rochills, the Director of Rochills Estate Agents. What we wanted to discuss today as advice is the question we often get asked from people thinking of selling, and that is what we call the chicken and egg scenario. Do I find a property and then put my house on the market, or do I firstly sell, find a buyer, and then look for my property? Marcel, what would you say your advice is to clients when they ask you this question?
Yeah, and this is a very common question actually. What I find is that people get very emotionally attached to a property that they quite like, and they tend to go for that property before they place their property on the market. Now, what I think is what actually happens is that they become quite emotionally attached to that property, and they make a knee-jerk reaction to go on the market, and sometimes not with the right agent. I find that it actually gives them more stress because they're very keen to get that property, and one of the questions we get told is, well, I'm not going to go on the market unless I find the right property. Now, I think that's the wrong thing to do. I think what they need to do is really focus on selling their own property, getting the best price and marketing it correctly, and then we hold the buyer. By holding the buyer, then the chance of getting a new property comes about. So I think it does lead to some stress.
It does, and I think in elaboration of what you just said, finding the right buyer, I think selecting the right agent would mean they would manage the expectation of the buyer so that the vendor can then find the right property.
Absolutely, and I think that's really important that when you have a buyer, that you actually be honest and open about the fact that you haven't found a property, for instance. And to be honest, when people fall in love with a property, they tend to hold on. The good thing also is that if they find a buyer at the right price, they're now going in a much more advantageous position because they're now going into the market under offer and able to proceed. And we know statistically that being under offer increases your chance of finding the right property because most agents actually contact those people that are ready to proceed. So I think that's probably the better way to go. Definitely.
You will get vendors though who have done it on the opposite end and have found a property.
Yeah.
They often ask then, do I have to go with that agent or do I go with one of my choice?
Yeah, I think the temptation is to go with the agent that's got the property. However, I think that puts them under a bit of a disadvantage because A, they're selecting an agent which necessarily won't market their property correctly, and B, they feel that somehow the agent can reserve that property for them. Now, legally, the agent has to pass over any offers, which means they can't reserve that property for you. So really they should focus on getting the right agent that's going to market correctly, professional photography, things such as how they advertise on Rightmove, etc., and how the agent negotiates, because I think negotiating skills is actually a key factor. So it's best to go with an agent who thinks got those skill sets that's going to get you the best price, as opposed to just selecting the agent because they've got the property. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you.